Raider Nation, what's going on? You're watching the Raiders Report. Today's show, I got a Raiders mock draft, and y'all wanted it with trades. So go ahead, subscribe to the show. The link is in the description below. And if you bleed silver and black, I got videos coming out every single day. And don't miss our live shows either, which are every Tuesday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, 3 p.m. Pacific. Okay, we got pick 12. We got pick 19. 7 picks total. 5 picks in the top 100. And this is going to be one of those drafts where I'm telling you right now, this is going to be a fun mock draft because we have some trades. And I'll take you through how all the trades are going to go down. So right now, at pick number 12, okay, I want to show you the picks that go off the board before pick 12. So this is what it looks like here. You got Derek Brown. He went to the Carolina Panthers. Isaiah Simmons went to the Cardinals. And I did actually try to trade up for Simmons, but they wanted our 12 and then all 3 of our third rounders. I said, no way. Justin Herbert, Henry Ruggs, and Jerry Jeudy. I was really interested to see that Ruggs and Jeudy both went off the board. And I mean, this made my decision pretty easy. And our first pick of this mock draft with trades, I went CeeDee Lamb. And if y'all watch the show, I don't really need to explain to you why I like Lamb. He's going to be a great player, I think, no matter where he goes. But his size, his speed, I think it fits our offense just absolutely perfectly. And my NFL comp for Lamb is DeAndre Hopkins. And I don't want people to be like, oh, my God, he's going to be DeAndre Hopkins because, I mean, let's face it, it's very high expectations. But I do think in terms of profile, what I saw at the combine, numbers that he was able to put up, I do think that he could be a player like Hopkins who, once he catches the ball, his yards after the catch ability is incredible. But I'm going to show you his stats. But the one thing that I can't show you just in terms of stats is CeeDee's will and want to be a blocker. Like, the fact that he wants to hit people is why he is my number 1 receiver. Because we talk about Derek Carr a lot. We talk about receivers a lot. We're going to win football games with Josh Jacobs running the football and pounding it down people's throats. That's just a fact, okay? That's just a fact. Now, remember, this is a simulation. I did a simulation on PFN, and if you guys want to do your own mock draft, you can do it at PFN as well, because that's where you can go out and do trades. So we had CeeDee Lamb available at 12. Henry Ruggs was gone. Jerry Jeudy was gone. And I don't want people to look at just what he did at the combine. Go watch his tape. Go watch this kid's will. He's going to be a fun player. And at the end of the day, one of our biggest needs is wide receiver. And we can get a wide receiver at pick 12. And he's going to be our number 1 guy over Tyrell Williams. He's going to pair very, very nicely with Hunter Renfrow. Am I super excited about the Nelson Agholor deal? No. But as a 4th receiving option, I actually like that because Nelson Agholor can also play, a little bit of special teams. So I was offered a trade at pick 19, and I'm going to show you that trade after this question. Should the Raiders, should the next Raiders mock draft have trades? Y for yes or N for no? I'm going to make this the pinned comment on today's video. So if you like the mock draft with trades, type Y for yes. If you want just a normal mock draft without trades, I want you to type your N for no. So this is the trade that went down. So this is the Blockbuster deal that I made. The Raiders, they receive the pick 26. They receive pick 56, which is a 2nd round pick, and a 3rd round pick at 70. And also in the simulation, they will turn you down. I tried to trade with like 4 other teams until the Dolphins were like, sure, I'll take this offer. The Dolphins, they get our pick 19, pick 81, and pick 121. So who won the trade? I want you to type R for Raiders, or I want you to type your D for Dolphins. So here are the players that were drafted right before our pick at number 26. And this was a little bit heartbreaking to me. So there was a lot of players that I wanted, right, that went right before. So the last mock draft I did, Antoine Winfield, he went. Christian Fulton, y'all know that I absolutely love him at corner. Yetur Gross-Matos out of Penn State, he went. Jordan Love, was actually kind of surprised that the Saints took him. And then Justin Jefferson at pick 25. So I'm going through here. I'm combing through the simulation. And I'm like, man, who's available? Who's there? I'll tell you who I went with after I tell you about this giveaway that is coming up here on the Raiders Report if you're watching this live. So this month is all about giveaways. If you subscribe to the show, you have a chance to win, okay? So if you want to win this Raiders flag, watch all of our live shows, because during live shows in April, we're doing giveaways, okay? Hit subscribe. I would definitely appreciate that. All right, so who did the Raiders go with at pick 26? C.J. Henderson, and I couldn't believe that Henderson fell this far. And I want every single time that I pick somebody, I want you guys to grade the pick, okay? I want you to grade it A, B, C, D, or F. Because for me, C.J. Henderson, this was an absolute steal to me. So I made a video, 2-3 days ago about the players that I would draft at 12. CeeDee Lamb and C.J. Henderson were both on that list. The fact that I was able to get Henderson at pick 26 was like mind-blowing to me. I was like, oh my gosh, this might be one of the greatest mock drafts I've ever done. So Henderson, to me, he didn't have any interceptions last year, but he did have a lot of pass breakups. And when I look at what he could bring to a football team, he is going to help us out a ton in man. And I think the Paul Guenther system needs to go to more man, because I just think it fits our players a lot better. In terms of the combine, he absolutely lit up the combine. And he's a player that's long, he's lanky, he is still a little bit raw. And I don't want people to say, oh, that's what they said about Garyon Conley. They're two totally different players. And if you insert C.J. Henderson to our defense, I think it fills a major need at corner. And you have Mullen, you have Henderson, both solid players. This then allows a player like Lawson to kind of hang back. It allows Isaiah Johnson to get another year of experience. And Randall, Abram, Henderson, Joyner, and Mullen, I mean, that's starting to shape up to be one pretty nice looking secondary. Also, something that's pretty nice, I think you guys will be looking good in these. Go to chatsports.com/Raiders jersey. This deal ends Thursday at midnight. So after Thursday at midnight, this jersey goes back up to being $100 right now, okay? Right now, you can get the Josh Jacobs, Maxx Crosby, any Raiders jersey for only $74.99 when you use promo code PINCH, okay? Pinch. Why did they choose Pinch? No idea. Maybe they were pinched for ideas. Go to chatsports.com/Raiders jersey. I'll put it in the comments. I'll put it in the descriptions down below. If you want to go rep your team, that's the deal to do it. So let's now go to pick 56 here, since we traded back with the Dolphins. And in round 2, this is tremendous value to me. Noah Igbenogany. And you guys know that I respect Tom. And when we talked to Tom about the Raiders mock, he told me Igbenogany would not be here at 56. And the fact that he fell here, I was like, man, I'm going to swoop him up. So I understand that we just went out and got C.J. Henderson, and we tried to fill that need. However, I thought it was just such good value where we can now have Henderson and Igbenogany, who is a physical player, okay? Very, very physical player. And the reason why I really like it is because he is still developing, okay? Still developing as a player where we're not going to put too much pressure on him to go out and start right away. Will he get snaps? Absolutely. Will he play? Absolutely. But last year, we had way too many injuries. Last year, our depth in the secondary just got cut in half. Like, simple. You go out and you have Henderson, you pair that with Igbenogany, I think it is an absolute home run of a duo. Now, he's not the most, crazy gifted athlete, but he is a very gifted athlete. So he's not quite like Henderson. He is right down there below, okay? The broad jump, vertical jump. You're looking at a guy who's pretty thick and stocky that can run. But I'm telling you, he also wants to lay people out. So in this mock draft, I did trades. That's important to remember. So I picked 12, CeeDee Lamb. I traded back with the Miami Dolphins to get 26, 56, and 70. So at pick number 70, I know this is going to be a player that you guys absolutely love. It's Michael Pittman Jr. And I've done a few mock drafts, and I've had a few people be like, Mitch, why not look at Michael Pittman Jr.? And honestly, he's never fallen to me. But I had to pick between Pittman Jr. and Brandon Ayuk out of Arizona State. And I went with Pittman because I thought of it as three ways, okay? I thought of it as we needed a red zone option. Pittman does that. He's a smart player that can run the entire route tree. That's something that the Raiders want. Plus, you can make him the third receiver behind Lamb and Williams. And nothing against Hunter Renfrow. I think Hunter Renfrow would have the starting job going into it. But I think Pittman is just a superior athlete, would probably get the job. The other reason why I think Pittman's interesting, and remember, every single pick that I do, get your grades in, A, B, C, D, or F. Throw them in the comment section. This is a live show. The reason why I really like Pittman is because let's just say we're not sold on Tyrell Williams going into next year. We can cut him with no dead cap hit. So if you move on from Tyrell Williams, and because you don't like what you see, I think you can go to a player like Michael Pittman Jr. And then there are no more excuses that we didn't give Derek Carr enough options. Because if, let's just say this, all right? You have a player who is 6'4", who is just physically just built. He's built like a number one wide receiver. I don't know if he's as talented as some other ones, but with like CeeDee Lamb, with Michael Pittman Jr., with Tyrell Williams, our depth chart, our depth at that position goes from being a need to, I actually think, one of our stronger positions. So this is what it would look like with both Lamb and Pittman as our options for the Raiders. And I do still think Tyrell's our number 2. I still think Hunter's the slot. However, I do think it'd be an open competition between Renfrow and Pittman. And yes, I do think Pittman's the superior athlete. He might edge out Hunter. But overall, having too many wide receivers at a position of need is not a bad problem to have. Let's just say that. So we had CeeDee Lamb, C.J. Henderson, Noah Igbenogany, yes, that's how you pronounce it, and Michael Pittman Jr. at 70. Now we're on the clock in round 3, okay? At pick number 80. This is going to be a player that, again, I've talked about a bunch, who was an absolute standout at the Combine. It's Willie Gay Jr. And get your votes in. A, B, C, D, or F on this pick. He is an every down linebacker that can do it all. The only reason that he is pushed down draft boards, he does have some off the field issues. That's a fact. However, I do think that Mike Mayock, I do think Jon Gruden, and I think a lot of the other players that we've already brought onto our team are leaders. They could help get the best out of Willie Gay Jr. And if you want to comp, like, y'all love Jonathan Abram. I love Jonathan Abram. Why? He brings the fire, he wants to hit dudes. That's kind of what Willie Gay is at, like the linebacker position. And I think that you pair him with Nick Kukowski, okay, who's going to go after the quarterback. You pair him with a Corey Littleton, who's great in coverage. All around, those 3 guys at linebacker, it makes us a very, very complex team that can do a lot of different things. And what's one thing that the guys want? Mike Mayock and Jon Gruden, that is. Versatility. Willie Gay gives you versatility. So this is a mock draft with trades, and I just want to remind you, okay, this is the trade that I did. So the Raiders, they received pick 26 in the first. Mike Mayock wants to get into the second round. Mike, you're welcome. Got pick 56, and then an early third rounder for 70. In return, we did have to give up pick 19. We gave up pick 81, and we gave up pick 121, okay? Raiders mock draft with trades. Y'all wanted it. This was a simulation. So that's why this trade went down. So, and like I said before, if you want me to do another one with trades, go ahead, comment on the pinned video. So we got CeeDee Lamb, C.J. Henderson, Igbenogany, Michael Pittman Jr., Willie Gay Jr. And that means we have 2 more picks, okay? So at pick 91 and at pick 159. So who am I going to go with at pick 91? I'm going to go running back Cam Akers out of Florida State. And this pick makes sense because go watch Akers play. He was able to produce behind a bad Florida State offensive line. And I'd actually be interested to see what he could do behind a good offensive line like ours. He can run between the tackles. He can catch the football. I actually think he'd be an upgrade over a player like DeAndre Washington. And why does this make sense? It makes sense because our most important asset to our team on offense, I think, is Josh Jacobs, who should have been Offensive Rookie of the Year. Like the video if you agree. And I just think going into year 2, we need to be able to keep him healthy. We need to be able to keep him fresh. And if Josh Jacobs gets 65% of the touches, we give 25% of the touches to Jalen Richard out of the backfield. This allows you then to bring in Cam Akers, who just gives Josh Jacobs a breather. Or if Josh is kind of dealing with a little bit of an injury, you have Akers, you pair that with Rod Smith. This keeps Josh healthy. That's what this pick is all about, keeping Jacobs 100% healthy. So that's what I want you to think about when you grade the pick below. So again, A, B, C, D, or F. Because right now, I'd actually give this pick, Akers, I'd give it a solid B, maybe B+. because with Josh, Jalen Richard, and Akers, that is one heck of a depth chart, and Akers would be the running back 3. That's my mistake. I didn't correct the graphic. Alec Ingold is the fullback, and Rod Smith, who is also on the roster. It's a very good running backfield. Heck, I would actually argue one of the best in the league. So at pick 91, Cam Akers, he's ours. Willie Gay Jr., we picked him at 80. Remember, we traded away 81. So that means at pick 159, I actually went with a quarterback. You want to know who I went with? I went with Anthony Gordon out of Washington State, and couldn't believe it, actually. There was a part of me where I was actually aiming for Jalen Hurts at pick 91, but he went off the board like a few picks right before me. So then I was like, all right, I'll see how this plays out a little bit. We were able to get Anthony Gordon at 159, and when I do my quarterback rankings, Gordon is actually my QB 6. Like, I think that he could actually go in the 4th, maybe even 3rd round. And his arm talent, it's not the greatest. It's not. And he does struggle versus pressure. My argument with that is, what quarterback doesn't struggle versus pressure? He does have quality tools. He put up insane numbers at Washington State. And for me, if I'm getting a quarterback who I do think is probably the best sleeper quarterback right now in the draft, in round 5 with my last pick, I mean, I absolutely love it. Because now he has the ability to learn under Mariota. He has the ability to learn underneath Derek Carr. And if for some reason Carr can't put it together with CeeDee Lamb and Michael Pittman Jr., well, then guess what? We move on from him. We have a solid backup in Mariota. You got a good quarterback entering year 2 in Gordon. And then if we got to look in the draft for another guy, hey, we can do it. So I understand that some of y'all might have wanted me to draft a quarterback earlier, or why did I draft one at all? I mean, for me, the value was there at a position that we might need. Hey, I was all about it. So I want you to grade my entire mock draft from a scale of 0 to 100. So 0, it's the worst thing you've ever seen. It's like, me getting out of the tub ugly. Or 100, which is the greatest mock draft you've ever seen. So at 12, we took CeeDee Lamb. At 26, because we traded back with the Dolphins, we got C.J. Henderson, Noah Igbenogany, and Michael Pittman Jr. Then at pick 80, we were able to get Willie Gay Jr., linebacker out of Mississippi State, Cam Akers, running back out of Florida State, and then with our last pick at 159, we got Anthony Gordon. So I want you to get your grades in, and if you like the show a lot and you made it this far in the video, hit that subscribe button and tune into our live shows because we go live every Tuesday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Raider Nation, what's going on? Is this the #1 Raiders channel on YouTube? For Chucky Heads, believe it, baby. And if you haven't already, subscribe right here. I'm giving you Chucky Heads, news, rumors, Raider Nation rumors. And look at this, I'm making your life easier. Check out my next video. Thanks for watching, and go Raiders.